Good evening, guys. Evening. Back again. Just getting set up here on this live stream. Want to get into this stuff a little bit more about Russell Brand. God, and somebody was just saying to me, I think it was maybe Lanny a few days back, what the hell had happened to Russell Brand with all this stuff, the story? It seemed to be a big thing. Was it 2-3 months ago? And then was a big story for a week, and then it just went away. You had the Schofield story. It seemed to go on forever, right? That Schofield story went on for like 5 weeks, 6 weeks. But this stuff with Russell Brand, it kind of did die down a bit, though, and it was just kind of business as usual in a sense with him going back to doing his videos on YouTube and Rumble. So with this out today, that Russell Brand last week was questioned by police for a second time over alleged sex offences, maybe not looking good. That maybe soon they could be closing in on him a little bit more with this, with all this stuff there, with all the accusations there that that you saw a lot of from the Dispatches documentary, but there was more and more, a few more that came out after that as well. So I'm just getting set up here. It is one of my loyal members. It's Maureen. It's her birthday today. So happy birthday to Maureen. So first off, I'm going to just let Maureen know. That's me on live now. I did say that I would play some music. And I did say to Maureen that it could be her pick of what songs I play for the most part. Hopefully Maureen can make it. Hopefully I'm not too late starting out this live stream. But what I'm going to do is just get the link out. Get the link out on social media.
Shave, the power of a smooth, clean shave in the palm of your hand. Its blades conform perfectly to your head to ensure
Brand. So just one moment. Set. Okay, so there we go. There's a link sent out in social media. So we'll get the numbers up a little bit. So yeah, so with this stuff for Russell Brand, it comes back into the news now. So Russell Brand, looking at the Guardian here, questioned by police for the second time over alleged sex offences. The Met says a man in his 40s attended a police station on Thursday for an interview in relation to 6 alleged offences. Scotland Yard detectives have interviewed Russell Brand for a second time over allegations of sexual offences. Brand was released under caution at a police station in South London in November in relation to 3 non-alleged recent sexual offences, it is believed, and has been interviewed under caution again in relation to 6 further non-recent alleged sexual offences. I think it was as far back as 2006, some of this stuff. Yeah, 2006, 2013 time. From 2006 to 2013. The Metropolitan Police did not name Brand, but in response to questions, a spokesperson said a man in his 40s attended a police station in South London on Thursday, 14th of December, for the second time. He was interviewed under caution by detectives in relation to a further 6 non-recent sexual offences. The Met confirmed that the same man attended a police station on Thursday, 16 November, for questioning. It is understood he has now been questioned in relation to 9 alleged offences, and police inquiries are continuing. Brand has denied very serious criminal allegations and extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, which he says he absolutely refutes. So come on, this is going to be the whole thing now. It's the establishment are coming for me, and I won't lie. I mean, this is part of it. He's been very anti-establishment. So when you're going to have that anti-establishment rhetoric, it's going to put establishment off. And when all these things come out, stories, and let's just going by, this is how I feel that they're true, that the establishment isn't exactly going to try and cover this up and have your back. I mean, certain people, because they've got the PR team and they've got friends in high places, they can get this stuff, they can get this shit covered up for a certain period of time. I mean, think back to when the Ronaldo allegation came up that he had raped a woman. I had heard about that allegation early 2017 time. It didn't become a big thing until late 2018. And it was just like a blink and you'll miss it thing, an article, very near the bottom end of the Daily Mail online, their website. And then it doesn't become a big thing in news on like almost the whole worldwide until like late 2018. So this is the thing, when you've got like friends in high up places, powerful people, they will do the best they can to try and suppress these stories. But when you're going after that establishment, you're going after Bill Gates, you're going after all these people, Jeff Bezos, I imagine, it won't be good, because then they won't protect you. And usually, they will look out for their own. But Brand claiming his relationships are always consensual, but I have a hard time believing that. I just think Brand got away with it for so long. He kind of he forced people to kind of accept this behavior that in our back of our heads of most decent people, decent thinking people, we probably kind of thought it was kind of unacceptable, but he forced people to try and accept it. And I mean, Russell Brand, he probably couldn't get away with it now, just the way that the things are with the culture. Flirting is one thing, but Russell Brand was a lot more just forceful and just inappropriate with how he'd come off. And it's not looking good for him. And, I used to think that he was maybe just genuine with this stuff, but it very well just could be a thing that he's now, it was just a whole, him becoming all anti-establishment, it was very much calculated on his part. He knew what he was doing. He thought there's money in it, it's a huge crowd, because the people in the community with the comedians, they don't want me around. So it very much, I feel, it was very much calculated on his part to become this, I don't know, political, spiritual guru type guy and get away from being, kind of like the weird, I say weird, but kind of like, comedian, OTT type of guy that he was when he was doing, like Big Brother's Big Mouth and whatever, his stand-ups and what have you. And yeah, but I mean, some people could put that down to him just maturing with age and that, and maybe that does play a part of it. But I'm not really a fan of this stuff. And I'm not a fan of him really in general. And I do believe if it's not all the victims, most of the victims with these stories, I believe. Second. So as it reads on here, so I'm just looking at The Guardian. Last month, BBC said a review that 5 complaints had been made about Brand's behaviour. This is when he did the radio show between 2006 2008. There was that, I think it was around 2006 when he interviewed Jimmy Savile on that radio show, funnily enough. And they met after dispatches and Sunday Times investigation. They had received a number of allegations of sexual offences in London. And they have received a number of allegations of sexual offences committed elsewhere in the country, and they would investigate those. And then you have Channel 4 conducting its own internal investigation Another company, Banijay UK, has also commissioned an investigation. Endemol, the production company, that was the shows that Brand appeared on, like Big Brother's Big Mouth. That was also bought by Banijay, and there was all that stuff, wasn't there? That with Russell Brand, and it was the what was it? They would get girls for him. You know, like when you get that whole like rent a crowd and Big Brother's Little Brother, Big Brother's Big Mouth, but it was specifically girls for him. So you could try and hook up with them, and I guess there were people that were in on that would facilitate him with these, I guess, young, would have been real young, attractive women. So very seedy kind of guy, and I used to maybe we would just write him off. It's just Russell being Russell, eh? That's how a lot of people he'd get away with it in that way. It's just Russell being Russell, He's just a bit of a sleaze, but that's just his personality. I think he was a lot more than that, right? A lot more than that. Ads are about to run. Now you can put people on timeout, so there's no. If anyone saying any stupid shit, I can just put them right in timeout. So that's good. Just a sec. But if you have your opinion, what do you think with this stuff with Russell Brand? Is guilty, not guilty, or do you simply just don't know, or you're kind of on the fence with this stuff? What do you guys think, though? Let me know. Just getting another link sent out on Twitter. Just bear with me. Maureen, where's Maureen at? Oh, me. So Maureen's saying she's sick. And she was saying she wasn't feeling well. You're the birthday girl, Maureen. I was going to play some music for you. Oh, man. Okay, so sadly, it looks like Maureen's not going to be able to make it. It's a shame. So yeah, Sky News, they just so GBUs again reporting on this. Russell Brand, though, he's doing this stuff, being all anti-establishment, showing videos about tractors arriving at Brandenburg Gate. Brandenburg Gate, I guess it's a similar thing in Germany that's going on right now about like what happened with the truckers in Canada with Trudeau. Yeah, so Maureen's just not well at all. Okay, bless her heart. Oh, me. Not a great time. It's her birthday and she can't really fully enjoy it. So what's this about Brandenburg Gate? Germany, yes, it's similar, right? This is we're getting from Russell Brand to now we're going Germany. Germany's farmers are furious. Hundreds of tractors arrive at the Brandenburg Gate. German farmers, have arrived in Berlin around the Brandenburg Gate to protest against planned cuts to tax breaks for diesel used in agriculture, part of a deal reached by the government to plug a hole in the country's budget. Leaders of Chancellor Olaf Scholz's third-party coalition last week agreed on measures to fill a 14.6 billion hole in next year's budget. So people are rising up. They're not going to take this, but yeah, I mean, when you're fucking with these people, the farmers or like the truckers, you know, these globalists, these controllers are going to realize you're going to piss off a lot of people, and people will stand up. People aren't. Some people will comply and take their shit lightly, but a lot of people are just going to be like, no, we're not having this, and they will be at that point. A lot of people can get to that point where they just feel like they've got nothing to lose. You know? But they do say the most dangerous man is the man who has nothing to lose. I think that is true, you know, from my experiences, that is true. And yeah. So I'll see how I am for getting a bit of a crowd in. As Maureen, I was going to allow Maureen to be the DJ for tonight, but I can play some songs maybe later on. I just have to see how I've got a decent enough amount of people in. I can play some stuff. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good, does it, with Russell Brand? You know, there was all that stuff, you know, and Catherine Ryan, the comedian, had spoke about there's a predator in the a male who was a comedian, and she said how he was a predator, but she didn't want to name him. This was an interview with Louis Fu, I believe. But she basically said, "I'm not going to take that risk of being sued, you know, when I've got a mortgage to pay and all that stuff, you know." And they were on a show, like this roasting type show that comedians would do, and you can pick up really from their body language. You can pick up from their body language that she just did not like him at all, and he realized that, and it was just very cold, weird type, awkward vibe, you know, and yeah, you'd have to see it though. I mean, it was funny. But, you know, that was an interesting documentary with Dispatches, and it was that thing. I think Russell Brand wanted to get out of that community with the comedians because, for the most part, he just wasn't welcome. And there was that guy, what was it, Daniel something or other, that's a Scottish comedian. You know, he seems to be quite a decent guy overall and tells it like it is. You know, our political views are probably a little bit differently. He probably would have felt a certain way about things when you know what hit 3 years ago. But overall for him, what he says about standing up about women that have been, sexually assaulted, he's a good guy in that respect, but I don't know. I think it's not looking good, but I think at the same time though, Russell probably be banking on the Rumble guys that are gonna you'd be hoping would have his back. I suppose you'd probably be hoping Elon Musk would have his back. So it'd just be interesting to see how things pan out with all this. That seems to be the only big, the article there with Russell Brand. I usually find something to keep going with this stream, but just the regs seem to be away. So usually they'll have things that they bring up and things we could talk about, but I'm just trying to see. Might be me getting shadow banned. That's maybe why the reg. I don't know what's going on, but. Let's see though what people are saying. Let's see what people are saying on Twitter then about Russell Brand. Somebody's saying here it would seem that Russell Brand is sharing the same borrowed time as they say Alan Jones. Do they not mean to say Alex Jones or Alan Jones? Someone says here, the real propaganda is the war in Ukraine. We shouldn't be involved with state and military industrial complex pushes. People on the right and left, Russell Brand, Oliver Stone on the left, Jimmy Dore on the right have done a good job producing insightful details. Some might say that's a bit questionable, but oh well. God, he's showing his age now, Russell Brand. Much more white, his beard, and he does seem to have more of an unkempt appearance when he comes out and he's had all these allegations against him. Remember, well, I say allegations, there was the stuff, remember the Andrew Sachs thing with Russell Brand, the whole eye after your granddaughter, that whole controversy. Russell Brand's life has turned into a real life game of Clue, with the police trying to solve the mystery of who allegedly did what, where, and when, while Brand maintains his innocence and hopes the whole thing doesn't turn him into a Get Him to the Greek sequel. Elizabeth Farrell, does Russell Brand Alex Jones ever question VAXING children? Do they tell you not to get the COVID vaccine? Let's say to Elizabeth Farrell. I've come across her tweets before. Saying to this woman, Elizabeth Farrell, maybe he does say not to get the jab, but I couldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Jordan Peterson guy, yeah, he was trending as well. I think it was something where he said about how UK could turn into Venezuela in 20 years with Keir Starmer. So I might say that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I mean, the thing is, Jordan Peterson says that, but I mean, does Jordan Peterson, come on, Jordan Peterson, I mean, do you think it was going to be any better if we still have Rishi Sunak? They're just as bad as one another. I mean, really, just as bad as one another. Goodness me. Peterson, yeah, he's trending. Let's see. Jordan Peterson's worship of women is as bizarre as his worship of Jews. Yeah, there was that whole stuff with the whole Hamas, the Israel-Gaza conflict, and after Hamas launched the attack, was it October 7th, and then there was that tweet that Jordan Peterson said, go get him, Netanyahu. I don't think that was, I wouldn't have gone there, you know what I mean? Again, I just don't get caught up into that whole, stand with Israel, stand with Palestine thing, picking a side. It's just not my thing. But I don't have a side as well. That's the thing as well. So Peterson said Britain will be Venezuela for 20 years if Starmer wins the next election. He was right about that. Someone said they agreed with him, Peterson. They agreed that the Labour Party in power might destroy our society. All its MP believe in gender madness, women and children's rights will be at stake. We're already fighting with wokery. We don't need a woke party in charge. Well, you know what? I can't disagree with that. Cannot disagree with that at all. Tories, at least you know what you're getting with the Tories up front. That's how I see it. People laughing at the thought that Peterson thinks Starmer is like Chavez, but I don't know. Some troll was saying to me some shit about Paul Joseph Watson, trying to say, well, he's not really from Sheffield. There's no record of him going to school in Sheffield. I'm not trying to imply that he's trying to say some shit. Oh, he's a Russian. He is some weird shit like that. They're trying to say like this fucker, he's a mind control subject or something, and pretending to be a working class guy from Sheffield. And I don't like Paul Joseph Watson, but that's pretty out there. What the guy was saying. God, it's been weird today. Is my thing cutting off, or I think something must be up with my internet because it's going very slow. Somebody say something in the chat because I don't know if the chat's not running, but my internet was very slow today. You know, trying to trade the stock market, and it was just going very slow. Yahoo, but I was just still able, still use my brokerage, and didn't affect me on the day. I made a profit, but it's weird. It's going very slow. This. Maybe just 8 o'clock needs to be the time. It's like that 8 o'clock, and then I start the live streams in because I seem to leave it later, and nobody ever comes on. Okay, anyone? Seems to be going up now, the numbers. Anybody there? Raise your hand. Say hi. Hey, hi, I'm alive. Trending in the UK, Scotland 2, Spain though. That was a while back. But yeah, I'm confident, as my song says, can we win? We can win. And again, it's going to be really good, when it's that game in June, first game, Scotland, Germany. That could Scotland, Brazil, France 98. That was a game that got me into football. So that game could get a lot of Scottish kids right into football. So that'll be very good. I think I'm just gonna have to call this a day on this stream because I always leave them too late with doing these live streams. So I think I might just have to leave it and then maybe do one tomorrow or do it Wednesday. But thanks a lot for everybody who did hop on. Really do appreciate it, guys. So thanks. Cheers. Bye.